Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? Hope you're doing very, very well. Now, I've got a great film review here. Centurion from 2010. Yes, you know it, or some of you think you know it, but a lot of you probably haven't even seen it. And believe you me, by the end of this video, you won't even need to see it because I'll have gone through the entire thing. You know that. You know the score. By the way, that sword there, look at that. There's blood down the blade. Can you see that? Some of you have seen it before. Some of you have actually held this. This is a genuine prop sword from the film Gladiator, as held by Russell Crowe in the chain fight sequence. I have the entire costume from Russell Crowe in the chain fight sequence. The boots, the sackcloth toga with the yellow daub of paint demarking him as a coward, and the big belt. And I've actually gone to cosplay and I've gone round town in the boots as well. But the boots are great. But I bought that costume before the film won all the Oscars. But even then, it was a massively, massively expensive item. But what a great bit of kit it is. So there's the Roman gladius, the sword used by gladiators, and also the sword used by the Roman legionaries. Slightly different. Hilt would be the standard. It'd be bone, it'd be wood. But bone preferably, you get better grip on it. You can see there is the Roman spatha, which is the cavalry sword version of this. A much longer blade, because obviously you're reaching down from a horse to smite barbarian heads. And that has got the bone hilt on it as well. They say better grip, it's really uncomfortable to wield. Anyway, folks, that's a bit of history for you. But we're delving into history now because we're going to look at Neil Marshall's terrific movie Centurion from the year 2010. Just put that out of reach before I harm myself or anybody else who interferes. This was a blood-drenched, action-packed, relentless chase saga. The synopsis is, it's the AD 117, yeah. Agricola is in Britain and they're trying to forge ahead into the Northern Territories. Yeah, historically, it doesn't do to march north of the border. You're going to get sent back with your heads in a basket. So, don't bother doing it. And they're not building the walls at the moment. You've got the Agricola line, which is much further up, approaching the Highlands, and you've got a string of forts along that. And they are fighting a guerrilla war with the Pictish warriors, the tribes who are up there right now. Well, not right now, but right then. And they are making life an absolute misery for the Roman legionaries. The weather's bad, the landscape's bad. It's a gorgeous landscape, but it's inhospitable to these, Mediterranean bastards and who are not used to this kind of inclement weather. And the big bugs that are up there, oh yeah, the midges, which are like almost prehistoric, these things, taking huge chunks out of your flesh. So they're having a tough time. And our film, Centurion, begins with our Centurion, played by the great Michael Fassbender. Yes! He was on a bit of a roll at the time. He'd done Eden Lake, he'd done Haywire, he'd done, what else had he done? 300. And he plays, the great Stelios in 300. And he's actually reacquainted with a 300 star, Dominic West. Dominic West is a great Roman general. Virile, in other words, virile. But our film opens with a man on the run, and that is our Centurion. He's been captured by the Picts, and he's been tortured and beaten, and he's escaped. And he's going through the snow, his hands are manacled, and he's legging it, and he's being pursued by these Pictish warriors. What basically has transpired is he's been the Centurion, the second in command on a little tiny fort, and it's all boring until one night when the Picts arrive and just decimate the place. Kill everybody except for him, because he can speak their language. We never learn why he can speak their language, or do we? I don't think we do. It's one of those little bits that, it doesn't matter. And because, he could be useful. So they drag him back to their encampment, beat the crap out of him, and they're going to obviously, use him as bait or some negotiating tool to get some of their prisoners back. Anyway, he escapes. In the meantime, we meet The Ninth Legion. Yes, the Ninth Legion. The legendary, notorious, infamous, mysterious Ninth Legion. This is a legion which marched north of the border into, the wild, what will become Scotland, the Scottish Highlands, and were never seen again. Historians always debate this back and forth, what really happened. There's been a huge sort of turn of academia sort of mindset where they say that no, well, they actually didn't get destroyed or mysteriously vanish in Scotland. They actually went and fought in Persia, they fought in Germania, they were massacred in Germania, and that's what happened there. No, that's not what happened, because now academia's changed around again, and now they're saying that yes, they were destroyed up in Scotland. And that's so how history sort of revolves and goes in cyclic sort of momentum. As these historians and academics just, I've got nothing to do today. I must go over my older hypothesis and now try and rework it. No, they went missing in northern Scotland. But I don't think they were destroyed. I think they got lost and they were picked off bit by bit, and then gradually, over many, many months and years, were assimilated into the tribes of Scotland. And that's what happened to them. A very similar thing happened to a legion in Germania, where they were picked off by barbarians, Franks and other Germanic tribes, and they were completely lost and butchered. But they did discover that they had, or survivors had been assimilated into tribes and joined their ranks and have offspring and all that sort of stuff. And they worked it all out. So I think a lot of historians kind of get mistaken that, hang on, that legion in Scotland, no, it must be the legion in Germania. They must mean that one. No, it's just two different legions. Went off on a big, massive legionary tangent there, didn't I? But you come to expect this sort of stuff. But this film, Neil Marshall's movie, takes the idea that Virilius's legion, the Ninth Legion, is ordered from York to march. Right, get up there. Look, Britain is a lost cause. You've got like the governor of Britannia, which is Paul Freeman, and he's playing Agricola. In actual fact, Agricola was several years before all of this, so this event here would not have happened. You had Hadrian, who was the guy who started building walls and stuff like, which comes into this, but we're racing ahead here. And so he orders, look, just get up there, go north. Let's try and save something here, redeem ourselves. We've got nothing else going for us. This has been a piss pot of a place to be. We're losing left, right and centre. It's fucking ridiculous. We built roads, we built some saunas, that's it. For Christ's sake, go and kill some of them blue and white painted bastards up there. Those pagan shithouses. So they march north and they encounter, yes, our Centurion. What's his name? Oh God, what's his name? Quintus Dias, Michael Fassbender, who's on the lam, legging it with his hands tied, and some of these Pictish warriors are coming down the path after him, charging down. But they encountered this legionary force. Oh my God, the Ninth Legion. Shit. Who then rescue Quintus and kill these pursuers. I should now mention that the Ninth Legion is being led by a Brigantian Pictish warrioress called Etain, who's played by the awesome Olga Kurylenko. Now, you've seen her in many movies, but to me, she was always the Bond girl in Quantum of Solace. Yes, Quantum of Solace, the one everyone likes to forget about, and yet, actually, I really enjoy, as badly flawed as it is. And I think she's great in that, and she's incredible in this. She is, if you could liken her character to anybody else, it would be Magua in The Last of the Mohicans. Michael Mann's Last of the Mohicans, with Wes Studi playing the Huron warlord chief who duplicitously brings the British into a huge ambush because they think he's a tracker, a scout working for them. Well, the Romans think that Etain is a scout working for them, but she's from that land. She knows like the back of her hand. We can trust her. She can't speak Elibus. Why? Because she hasn't got a tongue. Her tongue has been hacked out. When she was a child, Romans came to their village and destroyed their village, butchered her father, raped her mother multiple times and then killed her, and then raped her and then cut her tongue out so she couldn't speak of it. And yet she clearly did somehow communicate what happened, because this is her vengeance, it's blood vengeance. But she's now acting as a scout for all the Romans. Unbeknownst to them, she's actually part of the big Pictish tribe up there who took her in after the massacre of her village, trained her in the ways of the wild and warfare, and she's a natural born scout. She's lost the use of her speech, but she's made up for it with eyes and ears and smells, and she can track things. She can smell enemies on the wind and all this. She's basically Rambo, and so they're using her. And they've trained her and they sent her down, like, you act as a scout for them, lure the Romans into us. And in a scene very similar to the big massacre of the English in Last of the Mohicans, the 9th Legion is drawn into a fog by Etain. They've now encountered Michael Fassbender and they've brought him into the fold. So you escape from them. Well, you can't go home, I'm afraid, because we've got orders not to go back south. We're going north. We're going to take down this warlord and his band of barbarians. And Michael Fassbender is just, I'm a soldier. I'm born to fight. And I don't mind going back into the gates of hell. I'll do it again. Because I lost my commander-in-chief. I lost my men. I want vengeance too. It was great. So he joins the 9th Legion and he gets to know various members, which I'll discuss. Gets to know various members of them and how they all are so, loyal and devoted to their Virilius general, Dominic West. Because he's one of the men. He does arm wrestling contests with his men. He'll fight and he'll kill, and he's alongside them. He isn't like a highfalutin sort of officer, a big high politicking aspirations of Rome and the Senate. None of that bullshit. He's an ass in the grass fighting soldier, and he's great. He is great. The complete opposite of the character he plays in 300, where he is just a duplicitous, nefarious, politicking bastard on the Spartan side, who is just going to betray all his people just to try to assimilate Sparta into, the Persian Empire. Hey, but now he's a fucking idiot. It's almost like Dominic West is going like, yeah, I know I was a bit of a twat in that, wasn't I? But I'm not in this. I'm going to fight and I'm going to kick ass. And I'm one of the men. And he's bloody brilliant in this. But Etain leads them into the fog, and of course it's a big massive ambush. The whole thing's been pre-worked out, and the 9th Legion does get massacred. Flaming boulders of just molten shite get thrust down the sides of the valley, and they're trapped in the middle, decimated. The barbarian hordes come in, heads are hacked off, throats are slit, intestines are spilled. It's just limb lopping aplenty. Lots and lots of fantastic gore. Sadly, a lot of it is actually CGI, and very poor CGI at that. But the prosthetic effects, which I'll come on to again, are magnificent. Neil Marshall loves his prosthetic gore. He is the British he's from the British Splat Pack, and he loves a bit of gore. He's done Dog Soldiers, he's done The Descent, he did Doomsday, although we won't talk too much about that. And he did some of the great episodes of Game of Thrones. He knows his blood, snot and violence, and he loves it and revels in it. And the prosthetic effects are outstanding. But they can't resist of putting in extra, CG flashes of blood, which really look wrong. But, it's not enough to denounce the film. So, just put up with it. It's only really in the attack on the Roman force, and then this massive ambush and this massive battle. That's where you see these CG bits. The rest of it's pretty good. You don't worry too much. And there's plenty more gore to come. So the Romans get massacred, and Quintus Dias, our hero, Michael Fassbender, he's in a pit, and his horse has been taken from under him. He's done a bit of fighting, and bodies land on top of him, and he gets covered up with a load of dead Roman soldiers. So he survives. He's unnoticed, but the rest of the Legion has been pretty much massacred to a man, except for a nice little band of warriors who have survived, who will find Quintus Dias and they will form a little group, almost like a little Magnificent Seven sort of aesthetic. We have David Morrissey as Bothos, a veteran soldier. We have Liam Cunningham, the great Liam Cunningham, the Onion Knight from Game of Thrones. He's in Dog Soldiers for Neil Marshall. He's in so many movies. I've raved about him before. He is great with his taciturn, dry, raspy, sort of understated comebacks and put downs. He's wonderful. And he's a veteran soldier. And of course, it was his last tour. He was about to go back home to Tuscany, to his farm there. Oh, you know. But oh no. And as he gets told, well, this could still be your last tour of duty. And he's like, yes, maybe you're right. And who else have we got? Wrote this down. So Liam Cunningham plays Brick. David Morrissey plays Bothos. David Morrissey, the governor from Walking Dead. David Morrissey, fucking boss. You have J.J. Field as Thax. You have Noel Clarke, slightly controversial in later years, but he plays Macross, and he's from Namibia, and he ran from warlords and slavers. He ran all the way to Greece, and in Greece they found, because he's such a good runner, they put him in the marathon. So he ran for them, and then he was persecuted again, and he ran all the way to Rome and joined the Roman army. So he's done nothing but run the whole time. So he's Macross. You have Riz Ahmed, who is Tarak. He's not a soldier, and I'm just the cook. But my God, he can't throw a meat cleaver right into barbarian Bontes. Pidoosh! To save the day. And you have Dimitri Leonidas. Yeah, Leonidas. With a name like Dimitri Leonidas, and he is Greek, and in the story, he actually is a Grecian warrior. They give him the name Leonidas. I mean, you couldn't not give him that, could you? You couldn't not do it. It's just too good. And you have Lee Ross as Septus, and he's great as well. It's a lot of TV stuff, Lee Ross. And all these guys are betrothed and devoted to Virilius, the Dominic West general. What's happened? All the Romans have been decimated, apart from these ragtag survivors who've been obviously hiding away. But the Picts have taken Dominic West's character and dragged him off. So he's gone back to the same camp that our hero escaped from only a couple of days earlier, before encountering this legion. And they're gonna, well, obviously he's the general, so we got him. We lost the other guy, but we're gonna fucking use this guy. We're gonna beat the crap out of him. And they all slice him up a little bit, yeah, and he's spitting in their faces. I'm a Roman, you know, that means a lot, you know. And all that kind of shit. And you've got, what's his name? Gorlakan, played by Ulrich Thompson, plays the Pictish warlord. He's the one who's been waging this guerrilla war against the Romans, invading his territory. And he has a young son, and he makes the son cut, this Roman general. See, that's the enemy. That's what you're facing. Son, we'll defeat them all. This is your land one day. Anyway, so you've got all this going on, and they've got the general captured there. Now you've got this little ragtag group of survivors, all wounded, all injured, but all scared. But yeah, we'll fight if we have to. Look, we're gonna go south. Let's get back to our lines. But Michael Fassbender's like, no, we're not doing that. Your general protected me, saved me, brought me into your legion. Now we are all that's left of that legion. We've got to go and get him. I know where he is. I know they'll have taken him back to the camp that I escaped from. Let's go and get him. So like, oh shit. But they do. So they march, going, escaping evasion across country, trying to avoid any other recaptures, because you've got roving bands of these Picts who are looking for other survivors. You do have a great scene where our bunch hide behind like an upturned tree on the side of a river, while Romans are being set loose to run down the river, and they're getting picked off with arrows. Picked off by Picts. You see? And then one poor bastard has been arrowed, and then they captured him in the river. And Etain Olga Kurylenko just fucking beheads him, really badly, get the head in the air, and they're all like, Jesus Christ, blood flows down the river. They're all like, don't move, don't move. See us, we're dead. And when the Picts go off, right, they move back across country. And it's all great, it's all like commando tactics. Right, we're going to go in there and we're going to rescue him. And they encounter the big camp. But most of the warriors are out, looking for other, Romans. So and they see that the general is there and he's like chained to this tree. And like he's been beaten and abused and all that. We've got to get him back. So they go in there, they take out some of the Pictish sentries, like slash throats, like, and bodies just hidden away. But they can't break the chains. They can't cut through it. They're trying to keep quiet as well. And like, come here to rescue you. And like, Virilius is like, no, just leave me. You can't. There's nothing you can do. In the meantime, Thax, J.J. Field, his character Thax, has gone into and he's been great up to this point. He encounters that warlord what's his name? Gorlacan. God, good job I wrote these names down. Gorlacan. He encounters that young son in a tent, and to keep him quiet, he kills him. He kills the little lad. Oops, a daisy. But he also finds the general's helmet with his big plume, the horsehair plume, finds that, brings it out. In the meantime, the big war party's coming back, there's hundreds of them. I'm like, gotta get going. No, just break those chains. Virilius says, like, no, go back. Save these men, take them home, don't worry about it. So you have to go, you have to flee and leave him. And they get away with it, they get out there, and Thax turns up and he's got like, I've got the general's helmet, where's the general? We have to leave him behind, we couldn't break the chains. What, we did all this? And of course, they come back and you've got Etain, Olga Kurylenko, this mute warlordess. Oh my God, and she is incredible. Not only is she incredibly sexy in this, with her war paint on, the blue and the white, and her eyes are blazing with fury and vengeance, but she's actually incredibly intimidating. And we see it. Well, okay, the warlord chief, Garalkan, realizes his son's been killed. So then they tell him, your men killed my son. This is the Virilius, Dominic West, and he's just like, let's just get on with it, because you're gonna do me anyway. So just do it. Don't waste my time. But they free him and they give him a gladius. You're gonna fight her. Now you've seen her riding, and it must take something to do. I know she's got a stunt double that rides the horse for it in a lot of the action scenes, but you've still got Olga Kurylenko riding, one hand on the reins, and she's got this huge bloody spear thing. Which is, whereas most of the weaponry in this movie is authentic. The bows, the arrows, the swords, the armour, everything, and the tactics are actually genuinely authentic. But this bloody spear that she's got, it's something out of Lord of the Rings, it's something out of any fantasy movie. It's hugely ornate, it's massive. The steel, it's just steel, not iron. This huge ornate spear point with multiple prongs on it. And she has to ride off with this thing. That's weigh a fucking ton. Bloody hell, But anyway, she fights using this. He's got the gladius, and it's a pretty good fight as well. And Dominic West as Virilius gives a good account of himself, but he is badly injured anyway, and he's not going to survive. Even if he killed her, the mob would just descend on him anyway. So, but she gets him and she runs him through. And it's a great death scene as well. This huge bloody spears right through him, and he's like, and just stares at her. And she's like, yeah, victory's mine. The next day, they burn the body of the son, the warlord's son, and he orders Etain, go and get him, destroy them, blast their bodies, but bring their heads back to me. I want all of them. It's a blood feud now. The thing is, she didn't need that. We've already learned that she was the victim of a Roman attack. They hacked out her tongue. They burnt her father's eyeballs out of him, and they raped their mother to death. So she's got we're told she's an empty vessel. Nothing could fill it apart from the blood of Romans and all this sort of stuff. Like, she is the stuff of legend. She is the stuff of Magua from Last of the Mohicans. She's a genuinely fearsome warrior, and there's no like, look, these are men. These are big, brawny beefcakes that can kick the shit out. No, they can't. She is a warrior supreme and a tracker par excellence. So this is the thing. So now our bunch are now on the run. And look, what do? We've got to go south. We've got to get back to our lines. We fucked up here. We lost the Legion. The general's gone. We're doomed unless we get back to our people. But Michael Fassbender's like, no. That's what they'd expect us to do. What we're going to do, we're going to go north. What? It's even colder up there. There's more midges. No, we're not going up there. We're going to go north. Then we're going to go west. Then we're going to go south. We're going to do what they don't expect. They'll be watching. They'll be looking down south. Here's a fuck up then, because that plan is, right from the word go, is fucked up, because Etain, straight away, because she's an expert tracker, she picks up the trail straight away, and she's following. She's just a couple of miles behind him every step of the way. And this is what's great about this movie, the hunt, which is a huge portion of this movie, is them on the run, being hunted down. And wherever they go, no matter what tactics they employ, going across streams, hiding here, doing this, going up mountains, but she's always one step ahead, behind them, and taunting them in many ways. And some great photography as well. Loads of swooping camera work. Neil Marshall employed a great helicopter photography team for this. And they've watched Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. So those long, which a lot of CGI as well, I know, but those long overhead shots showing huge armies and landscapes and that, and like the Fellowship crossing, huge mountains of snow and all this kind of stuff. You've got that in this, and it looks incredible because he is filming in Scotland. He is filming in Sussex as well. Sussex or Surrey, it's one of them anyway. And there's a lot of MOD sites where they test tanks and do military manoeuvres and training. So these great big forested areas and huge tracts of land, huge valleys and mountains and rifts in the ground. And you've got these amazing helicopter shots of this ragtag group going over these peaks on the run with this music playing. I'm playing the score to Centurion. Of course, you knew I'd do that. We'll talk about this later on. By the way, cheers y'all. This is Pictish whiskey. It's distilled from Roman blood. So they're getting pursued, they're being hunted down. And as I say, there's great shots where you'll have them sort of on a ridge looking down. Well, where is she? They call her the she-wolf. I think they're looking down. And in terrific shots, the camera will swoop over them and will focus in on a distant sort of part of the canyon, the ravine, the mountainside. And just coming into shot out of tree branches will be Etain's band of warriors, a barbarian Pictish group, a hunter force. And it's a great shot. You've got them miles away, and the camera will just go over them, and you'll see them coming at the shot. It looks astonishingly good. This film, even though it has tons and tons of CG, and some of the landscapes as well look a bit digitized, and they do use paintings and things for certain bits, and I mean genuine paintings, matte paintings to bring these things in, not just CGI. But beyond all that, it does look hugely impressive. You can taste the air, the fresh air, the cold, the bite, the snowflakes drifting on the breeze, the cold water. You've got that. And the adrenaline, you've got that adrenaline rush. That's why the film works so well. With pure B-movie territory and pure hokey dialogue. But the dialogue's actually still good. As I said before, Virilius, when you first meet Dominic West, he's arm wrestling, and it's all like bawdy, squaddy-like talk. Neil Marshall done this before with Dog Soldiers, the squaddies up in the Highlands of Scotland encountering werewolves. And what was Dog Soldiers? It was a siege movie but with werewolves. Neil Marshall takes in all the things he loves from other movies and puts them into his own. He did it wrong with Doomsday. the one film in its canon that I don't like is Doomsday, and I despise the film completely on every level. But I still love Neil Marshall and what he does, and I love what he's done with Centurion. So you've got this bawdy bunch who are like, just, it's all ribald banter and all this kind of stuff. And it's effing and blinding, and just, it's gutter level dialogue, and yet it still works. We know what's going on. We understand. We're meant to bond with these guys. There's not much meat on their bones as characters, but there's enough to get on side with them and to be on the run with them and to be terrified of that bunch chasing them and stand fast with these guys. So they do end up getting picked off one by one. They will have to make a huge leap off a cliff into a raging river down below, with Olga Kurylenko, Etaine's group, right hot on their heels. Loads of great shots. The pregnant pause on top of the mountain where they've all jumped off. One guy's been, I think the cook, Tarak. No, who was it? Someone. Who was it now? Could be Tarak. Tarak's had arrows quilled into him, and I think he's done his leg in as well. So they're trying to actually dragging him up the hill, and he gets arrows in his back. Oh, and he just tumbles off. He's dead. He's gone. And then it's only Quintus Diaz, Michael Fassbender stood there, and Etaine, Olga Kurylenko, has legged it up there. She's there with a war hatchet and just fucking legs it, and flings this thing at him. The two have locked eyeballs as well. They've met before, obviously, because he's been beaten and tortured and all that, and he knows that she's like this fucking bitch from hell, this vixen, and he just goes like that, and the axe goes into a tree and fucking leaps off. Like, now this is where they get split up. You'll get with Quintus Diaz, Bothos, and Brick. So Liam Cunningham, David Morrissey, and Michael Fassbender will be in one band, and you'll have JJ Fields, Fax, and Macross, Noel Clark, and another two who get separated. Our three guys will encounter a necromancer. They'll be pursued again, harried across open ground, and they encounter Imogen Poots playing Ariane, who is a scar-faced yet incredibly beautiful herbalist. But as she says to them, I was, they think I'm a witch, I'm a necromancer. Even Liam Cunningham's character, when they first find her homestead and her shack by a river and all that, looks great to me. But it's all like witchery effigies and skins hanging there. And he's like, we shouldn't stay here. No, this does not look good. It's the exact opposite. It's the perfect place for them because she's great. She actually does bring them in. David Morrissey, Bothos, took an arrow in his leg as well. So, and his leg's suppurating a big, horrible, infected wound. He's in agony, but she'll treat the wound. She'll feed them. She'll keep them overnight. And she's like, explains who she is. I've got no love for these people either. But she can speak Latin. So a lot of people, how can you speak Latin? She goes, well, there's a Roman garrison just 2 days down the road. There. What? These guys didn't even know there was another garrison up there. Because, as I say, the Agricola line and Hadrian's Wall, well, we'll come on to that. But the Agricola line was further north, and it was a string of forts. These guys, well, that legion marched, the 9th Legion marched from York. They didn't really know probably who they were going to meet up there, what other Roman settlements and fortifications there were. They should have, really. But even like our boy, Quintus Diaz, what, there's a Roman garrison? You sure? Where did that come from? Just 2 days? Right, well, we're going there then. But of course, in the meantime, and we're playing, this is Ariane's theme here now, Necromancer. A gentle theme in an otherwise bludgeoning, pulsating score. They form an attachment. And she's given him good... There's some great dialogue as well. I love Liam Cunningham. He's dead untrusting of this girl. And she brings him bowls of like this broth. And it actually does look lovely as well. In his wooden bowls with big wooden spoons. And like, what's his name? Michael Fassbender goes, because they're a bit untrusting of this woman. What? She just took us in. And like, he's like, put the fucking knife away. She's friend. She's looking after us. Don't do anything. And I'm like, oh, I'm not sure. And he tastes this broth and he goes, it's good. And then David Morrissey goes, It's very good. But Liam Cunningham's completely like, I'm not having any of this. He's like looking at it. What? It's good. Very good. And in a quiet voice, he just goes, it's delicious. It's delicious. It's fucking great, isn't it? And he will apologise to her, like, I'm sorry, I'm just a crusty old veteran soldier. I'm very cynical, I was wrong. You're okay. We're done. It's cliched, of course it is. But an attachment's formed between Quintus Dias and Ariane. However, the next day, even though he's been pissing in the river while she's catching fish for their breakfast, and she just calls out like, "Is that trying to impress me?" And he's like, "Oh Jesus!" And he hides behind a tree and he puts his bits back into his toga, and he's like, "Oh, sorry about that." In Rome, that's considered rude to be looking at a man while he's in mid-flow. And she goes, "Well, it's actually considered rude to be pissing on your breakfast as well." Like, he's catching fish downstream from where he's been pissing. And but Itane, Olga Kuryako, and her band will arrive there. So she makes them hide in the grain cellar. So you've got the scene. You've seen this sort of thing a million times. It's in Inglourious Bastards as well. They're hiding underground, and like Christoph Waltz is walking across the floorboards, all that kind of stuff. You've got that here, and she's been treating both as this wound, and there's a bloody sort of cloth. She hides that. Now, I've got an issue with this sequence because they get away with it. Ariane manages to bluff her way out of it, and Itane and her men do leave. And Itane, we've learned she can smell these people. She knows where they are. She can look at the tracks and pick up exactly what's been going on. There's been a scene earlier on where they're on one side of the river and they're hiding like this, like keep your heads down, and they watch Itane and her warriors travel on the other side and disappear behind the trees. And then they go, wait a minute. As she comes back and stops and sniffs the air and looks directly over at where they are. And this is where Liam Cunningham goes like, she's a witch. And he goes, no, she's just trained. She knows the land. She's a tracker. Well, she's just been in there. And these guys are just literally 2 or 3 feet below her feet. And she can't smell that they're there. She's meant to be a fucking expert. But they do leave. And, these guys have another nice day there, and then they head off to this lost Roman garrison. Now, I'm just trying to think what happens next. How does this transpire here? Liam Cunningham, David Morrissey. What happens? They do get caught again. No. What happens is, folks, I apologise. Sometimes when you've just watched a film, like I've just watched this, and I'm trying to tell it in linear fashion, you're kind of like, hang on, what? It's not as easy as you think. You try doing it live on camera and drinking whiskey. They get to the fort. I was thinking ahead. They get to the fort, and it's not populated by a big Roman legion. No, it's empty, and it's basically been desiccated. The front gate just falls down. They're like, shit, what happened here? And there's a little sign pinned to a post, all in Latin, and he reads it. Oh, they fucked off. They've gone back south. Hadrian's ordered them back again. Jesus. And then you hear like one of the horn calls of like, oh, Itane and her warriors are coming for us again. And like Fassbender just goes like, look, I'm sick of running. We make a stand here, because that's it now. All he's done, I mean, let's be honest, it's like John McClane in Die Hard 2. How can the same shit happen to the same guy twice? He's been on the run from these people, not once but twice, and he's like, oh God, I'm not doing this anymore. So the 3 of them make a stand. Now, by now, you've only got like a beleaguered bunch of these warriors, because there is a bit of missed out. At one point, they're camped across the river from where the warriors are, the barbarians, the Picts are. So Fassbender goes like, hang on a minute, let's do the most unexpected thing. Let's attack them. So they go over there, let's even the odds. So they cross the river. I forgot this bit. And they go and they kill a few of them. And they capture one and say, where is she? Why is she after us? And he explains, one of your men killed our chieftain's son. And they're like, ah, shit. Somehow, they're thinking, Vax was the one who came back with the general's helmet. Something about him anyway. It shouldn't make a difference. This woman, Etain wants to kill Romans anyway. It doesn't need a fucking excuse to do it. But it adds the plot dynamics. So like, he's got a knife, a sword. I'm like, yeah, right. They killed a few of you, and I think they leave him alive. But in the meantime, Etain and a few of their warriors so they've crossed the river up there, while our Roman boys have crossed down here and killed a few of them, and they've gone back. That's where they wound David Morrissey. It's all coming together now. That's where he gets an arrow in his leg, and but they don't kill him. In a curious moment, they say, just let him bleed, and he's fallen down a hill. Let him bleed. So again, that's another point I was going to come to. So that's a bit unusual. Why did they not kill him? Why let him bleed? But in the meantime, Tarak, the cook. Oh no, I think it's somebody else. Who is it now? Oh, it's Leonidas. It's the Greek one. He's against the tree, and they take his head. So our boys come back and discover, well, David Morrissey is wounded badly, and the other guy's lost his head. They took his fucking head. Why did they take his fucking head? You know, and so that's how you've got to this element now. David Morrissey's wounded, but he's still going to fight. We're in the garrison now, but they've killed a few of the bad guys now, the barbarians. So there's less of them. You've not only got Etain as this warrior woman, you've got another one, a blonde one. I don't know what she's called, like, and she's quite a vicious bitch as well, like. So they overturn a cart and put it in the main gateway, set ablaze to that. They found some arrows and a couple of spears. That's all they've got to fight with, and their own swords. And the finale is this huge big battle between not many people. It's hardly a huge battle. But it's a lot of one-on-one stuff, a lot of carnage, a lot of headbutts going in, and you will lose Liam Cunningham at this stage. He will get butchered, stabbed through, and still fight back. The barbarians will be taken down one by one, but they'll give a good account of themselves. And our boy, Fassbender, will fight Kurylenko. So Diaz and Etain will go one-on-one, headbutts, punches, swords, parries, rolling round, beating each other to a pulp. It's fucking violent. And he will eventually pick up a sword that's been dropped from the battlement, and he will manage to run her through. And it's a weird moment as well. You kind of think there's going to be some kind of sort of mutual respect and acceptance, but I think it stopped short of doing that. Neil Marshall stopped short of doing it because they both despise each other for the things that they've done to the people of, their people. And so there's rage, but then resignation, and like, only two of our boys have survived now. So they flee from the castle. Now we're going to head south. Now we're going to go back to our lines. So obviously the passage of time takes place and off they go. But camping overnight, suddenly Thax, the guy that killed Garalkan's son, he suddenly appears again. And he storms into the camp because he thinks that they're Picts as well. Like, and he's got a knife to what's his name? Bothos's neck. But behind him comes up our boy Fassbender. I've got you. And then Thax, shit, it's you guys. Oh my god, I thought you were the bastards. I thought you were the enemy. Sits down, gets some food. They are suspicious of this guy. What happened to Macross? Oh, he didn't make it. The wolves got him. And of course, oh yeah, I've missed that bit out as well. Oh dear, oh dear. This is a terrible show of a review, this, isn't it? But it's what happens. After they got separated at the river, they jumped off the cliff and they go over the waterfall and all that, Thax and Macross are together, and they see the quilled body of one of their men, quilled with arrows, floating down, and they assume everyone else is lost, so they go on the lam themselves, but they get pursued by a pack of wolves. The Grey, anybody? Which came out the year after this. And Noel Clarke's character, Macross, is the runner. He's the Grecian marathon runner, so, should be great. But he falls over, and the wolves are not far behind. And Thax goes up to him like, "Oh God, I'll help you," and then slits his Achilles tendon. And he's like, "What have you done?" Well, I need to get away from here. Got to think of number 1 avenue. Sorry, the wolves are gonna eat you. I'm off. Ta-ra. I'm off to Rome, sweet Rome. There's no place like Rome. So the wolves do take Noel Clarke's character, Macross, like, so he says, when he meets up with our boys, he just says, like, that the wolves got him. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And then they approach what's the fledgling Hadrian's Wall. Hadrian's Wall, which still stands now, which of course is 119 kilometers of old Roman wall. Some of it's collapsed, of course, and to keep, we can't conquer north of here, but let's just build a wall to keep them out. Let's just do that. That's the safest bet, which is what the Romans did. And so we encounter this, and this is a big painting. They actually, this is not in Scotland. This is down in Surrey or Sussex or somewhere like that, on this big MOD land, a tank testing ground, I think it is. And they've built this sort of, bits of this Hadrian's Wall. So you've got all scaffolding there, which is real scaffolding, and you've got all people hanging out on it, and they're just Romans and workers who were just there. And Bothos is like, right, I'm going in. It's our people. But you've got to remember, they've ditched their Roman armour, and they've got all furs on. They've tried to blend in, so they don't look like Roman soldiers at all. While he's riding off, you've got suddenly, they only had 2 horses that they took from the warlord, the warrior pack from Etaine's group, and Thax has been riding on the back of the horse with Diaz. Suddenly pulls a knife out. He's got him in the kidneys. Listen, I know you think that I killed that son, but I had to do that to survive. And you brought this all on us. We lost men because of you. But they were gonna. This is the thing. The Picts were gonna go after him anyway. Whether he killed the chieftain's son or not, it's irrelevant. It just adds, about you're a bastard. You betrayed us. So he's got a knife on our hero. He's like, yeah, I can't. You're gonna say nothing about this. Not having my character be smirched by you. Not now. Anyway, the 2 of them will end up fighting, and Quintus Diaz will strangle or break the neck of this betraying, immoral bastard. But in the meantime, Bothos, David Morrissey's riding down, and the director, Neil Marshall, in an uncredited cameo, and Neil Marshall is an archer. He does this. Gets his bow, whoosh, takes down. Oh no, David Morrissey. Oh fuck. Off his horse. And Quintus Diaz is like, no. So he strips off all of the furs, and he's got like the Roman tunic underneath, which is what they'd have underneath their armour anyway. And clearly, they kind of realise, oh shit, you're a Roman. And he comes back, he brings the body of Bothos back, and they meet Paul Freeman again, and they're told, look, he's told, you've done great service for Rome there, but it's a lost cause, but you're a hero. You'll be worshipped as a hero. Have a meal, have some wine. You have all the splendours of my royal fucking great life. My daughter will bring you wine. And then he says, after he goes back to Agricola's tent of all palatial fucking manor, and Agricola's saying to his generals, we can't have this. This is going to destroy our name. The 9th Legion must be scrubbed from the books that ever existed. So the mystery of the 9th Legion being lost up there, and obviously this guy knows, going to do him in as well, and that's what they try and do. So Drusilla, Agricola's daughter, kind of gives the game away, and Romans, a bit like Gladiator, of course, where Maximus is betrayed, and Commodus has tried to have him assassinated. They come for him, but he takes him out and fucking destroys him. And she explains to him, he's got to why, but we can't have this. This is going to defame our name and all that. And he goes, fucking Romans, And he backhands her, boosh, and knocks her out. And it's a lovely moment. It's like He's already killed a woman, don't forget. So this big beefcake Michael Fassbender, super warrior, like, he knows, look, women, you're just as bad, you're just as violent, you're just as nasty, just as vile and devious as men. So I'll treat you like that. Bang! Knocks her out and makes her get away. He's escaping again. And where does he go? He goes back to Ariane, the necromancer, Imogen Poots. And the film ends with some, it looks like blossom blowing on the wind. It's meant to be snow, but it looks like blossom now. And he's wounded again, and he falls off his horse. Because he has been attacked during that final moment, that final splurge of treachery in Agricola's tent. He falls off the horse and she holds him, and he just says to her, like, it looks like you're always saving my life. And but we know the two of them are going to be just fine. And so endeth Centurion. Folks, this is a B movie, a gore-drenched, action-packed, totally relentlessly paced thriller, historical, war, authentic with weaponry, earthy in dialogue, rich in gore and CG embellishment, but it's such a blast. It's a thrill ride. I love every gore-drenched moment of this. It's no Great Shakes. It's not Britain's answer to Gladiator. It wasn't meant to be. But it's Neil Marshall, it's his story as well, taking a tremendously visceral idea and working on the legend of the lost Ninth Legion. No one really knows what happened to them. I'm going to use that. I use it as the basis of a great action-packed, adventure story. I'm going to bring in elements of the Warriors. I'm going to bring in elements of Apocalypto, elements of Braveheart, and Cross of Iron as well. Cross of Iron, the great Sam Peckinpah World War II movie, Germans versus Russians. James Coburn and his ragtag group who've gone deep behind Russian lines and come back to the German lines and are betrayed and heavily machine gunned. Demarcation is the code word, but and it's identical to that at the end of this movie, where Paul David Morrissey gets taken down by one of his own men, and our hero is betrayed by the leaders in charge. But even though Neil Marshall's taken, this is what he does. He takes all the elements of films that he loves and puts it into his own sort of movies, which is great with Dog Soldiers. It's great with The Descent. It's great with this. It wasn't great with Doomsday. I won't go on about Doomsday, but Doomsday snatched too much from Escape from New York and Mad Max and just completely destroyed everything. It went too far, and it did not go down well at all. I know it's got its fans. I know it has, but I'm not one of them. But I still massively revere Neil Marshall. We still await Dog Soldiers 2. So get on with it, Neil. Oh God, another one's gone. The score to Centurion is by Ilan Eshkeri. Now, Ilan Eshkeri sounds like he's from Romania or Croatia or something like that. He's actually a Londoner. And his score is tremendous. Now, he uses the bodhran drum, and he uses this fantastic instrument called the carnix. The carnix is an instrument that the Picts actually genuinely used back in this period. So the Picts used it, and the Romans who were up there would have heard it, and it would have terrified them if they'd heard the sound of it. Now, I'll try to find a track where you hear this. I mean, it's in a few, but let's see. It should be here. That high-pitched warbling. You can do high-pitched, you can do low-pitched. And it's an instrument which you blow into, and it's on like a huge pole, and it's a vertical thing, like, ooh, very strange. Bodhran, drums playing, lots of timbre, lots of percussion. Now, Ilan Eshkeri, I've got to keep checking people's names. When they first met Neil Marshall, he said, I want to be traditional, I want some kind of folky melodies in here. Well, we'll take Eshkeri at his word, because what he did, he went up to Scotland and he stayed way up high and stayed with various local people in the pub, got very, very drunk and heard them playing their folk songs and singing, And he thought, I'll take those ideas and I'll use them in my music for this movie. I'll take him at his word. I can't really hear many folky melodies in this. It is a bludgeoning, fast-paced, aggressive, hugely adrenaline-fueled score, which I genuinely adore. I do. I think it's a great, great score. But I can't really hear what he's saying about these old folk melodies being in there. But he did hear this. I keep forgetting the name. The Carnix, that big, that huge thing like that. After being drunk in his pub, he had a couple of words written down. Carnix was one. He said, right, we're going to get that. So he found the only guy that's rebuilt one of these things in the UK and can use it. So he employed him to play it, and it's a great score. Listen, so it's doing those sort of deep, almost didgeridoo sort of effects, but then the high-pitched warbling as well. You're hearing it now. It is great, and there's a bodrum going as well there. But it's a wonderful score, and as I say, it's very fast-paced. He'd worked a lot with rock bands as well, so he would have the guitars playing with the bass and in tight, constricted rhythms, very, very fast and competing with each other. So you've got this pacey, adrenaline-fueled music to run to, and it is tremendous. Olga Kurylenko is outstanding. You do see, I mean, she can't speak, but you do hear her breathing in sort of anger and exasperation. And after they've burnt the warlord, the chieftain's son, and she's killed Virilius, Dominic West, she does scream. She can ululate a scream, and the camera in a big open mouth, we see her lack of tongue and the tonsils waggling away. Oh God, it's just like, oh dearie me. And it's great as well because when she does this bestial rage of a scream, our boys are miles and miles away on the run over the mountains, and they stop, they hear it, and their blood freezes. Michael Fassbender throughout the rest of the movie will have dreams where that war hatchet's being thrown at him, or her face just appears, and it's like she is the stuff of nightmare, but she's so friggin' gorgeous at the same time. But it works. She really owns this movie in so many ways. A genuine force to be reckoned with, a genuine threat, genuinely sexy, but you still don't want to fuck with her because she'll skin you alive, and then she'll force all that offal down your throat. Eat yourself. There you are. Here's your cock and balls. Chew on them. That's the kind of bitch she's playing, and she does it outstandingly well. So, and Fassbender, he's great. I mean, I've always liked Fassbender, even from the likes of Eden Lake, where he has to he gets his mouth completely done in, and then he gets killed as well, tortured, abused, and murdered by little scally scroats. But and then of course he's Magneto in the younger X-Men sort of movies, and you've got him in Prometheus and Covenant, two films I massively hate, big time, and I hate because of his character, and yet I love to watch him play that bloody character of David. It doesn't make any sense, does it? But it does show you just how damn good he is as an actor, that you watch him and you listen to him, you hang on his every word. And even in a B movie like this, where it's just cut and thrust, run, cut and thrust, run some more, kill somebody else, run that way, then fall over a bit, now slice that one's head off. And that's all it is, really. He's still captivating to watch. I loved him in 300 when I didn't even know who the hell he was. But Stelios, I thought, Stelios is great. And his standoff with the Persian emissary, my arm, it's not yours anymore. Now you run back to your Xerxes. You tell him that he fights free men here. He's wonderful. I love Michael Fassbender. And this is a film which really, in many ways, should have catapulted him to action movie status as the hero, but he clearly has a different agenda himself. And when Centurion came out, it wasn't derided, but it was certainly not given great reviews. at most, if you're using a sort of out of 5 sort of scale, it was mostly 2.5s. It was getting 2 to 2.5. Maybe it would get like a 3 from some people. But it is what it is. It does exactly what it sets out to do. To thrill, to entertain, to give you some historical context. Even though there's some inaccuracies there, I'm still going with the Lost Legion of the Ninth were lost north of the border in Scotland. I still believe that. So the film takes that. But Agricola wasn't there at this particular time when this incident took place. So, you know, there's bits like that. But the Picts look like the Picts did. They act like the Picts did. And the Romans, they're using tactics that they would have used. And I like the fact that you're seeing fledgling escape and evasion and commando tactics. Now, don't go thinking that these things, special forces cut their teeth in the Second World War and especially in Vietnam. Guerrilla warfare and commando tactics really took on a whole new element. But don't go thinking that it's only this 20th and 21st century that really happened. Yeah, ancient times, the Romans actually had commando cohorts that would go and infiltrate enemy lines, would live behind enemy lines, cut off from supplies, live off the land, and would work as a unit to take down other enemies and attack them from the inside, infiltrate. They had teams that would do that. So this sort of thing is not beyond the realms. And the running, you know, and the escape and evasion, living off the land, it's all there in this movie. And it's done in a blistering blitzkrieg, sort of cinematic, non-stop, aggressive sort of mode. And it's truly wonderful. I'm coughing because I've been talking, and I've also run out of stuff to lubricate me throat. So I'll be a bit like a Etain, you know, with no tongue. I'll be going. There's always whiskey left. I can put that down, leave it for another few minutes, and more whiskey will slide down, and you'll get a bit more. And if you leave what you think's an empty bottle of whiskey for a day or so, you go back to it. There's actually quite a bit of whiskey left in the bottle. A little tip there. So when you're in the pubs as well, and you've got your whiskey, and they try to take your glass away, your empty glass, don't let them take it. You've still got whiskey you've paid for. Valuable whiskey. I mean, lager and beer, that's just dregs. Who cares about that? Well, that strip of that. So what? Whiskey's expensive, and whiskey's far more better quality, you know? So you get a lot in these videos, don't you? Neil Marshall directs this with conviction, passion, and a real enjoyment of this sort of genre. His love with movies, with action, with adrenaline, it's addictive. It really comes across, and he does it superbly well. Totally and utterly adore this movie. It's no Oscar-winning stuff. The script is just linear, A to B, B to C, and that's it. You've done this, you've done that, I hate you because of this, and I'm going to kill you. It's just dead simple. Husky's just coming after a long walk, she's now slurping water. And she'll want a bit of a treat as well, a bit of a snack, so I'll have to wrap this up fairly soon. But I do recommend that you watch Centurion. I think it's a great movie. It looks tremendous, even with the CG bits. As I say, the prosthetic effects, the heads coming off, the slitting of throats, the slashing of chests and hands and arms coming off, legs being hacked off. There's a lot of head stuff, a lot of head violence. Axes going into the tops of heads, swords going into sideways into heads here, and then cleaving off the top part. You've got all that. In the UK, it's only got a 15 certificate. It's because there's no sex in it, but the violence is it's OTT. It's very comic book violence, but it's gory as hell, and it's wonderful to behold. It doesn't hold back at all. It's unflinching, and I love that. I've covered the film The Northman, Robert Eggers' The Northman, Alexander Skarsgård, Viking Vengeance. I've done 2 big videos on that already. The film is being billed as absolute brutality and violence. Yes, there's some in it, but it's not like that. This film is infinitely more violent, infinitely more aggressive, and as far as that goes in that particular category, Centurion beats it hands down, or hands lobbed off. Totally. So if you're into bloodlusting, historical violence and mayhem, Centurion is definitely, going to float your boat. It's outstanding. I love it. Neil Marshall, you did a bang-up job with this. The direction is totally on point. The actors are great. The dialogue is wonderfully stupid and arcane and just completely squaddy-like. But and there's not much meat on the bones of the characters, but you know who each person is. You know what their dynamic is. You know who you can trust, who you can't trust, who you want to stand and fight with, who you want to stab in the back. You know all of that, and you've got great villainy as well. And yet you understand why they're doing what they're doing. So you've got that dynamic as well. Etain, you understand why she fucking hates Romans. Of course she does. So is she really a bad guy? No, she's not. She's fighting what she believes in, and she wants her revenge as well. The Romans shouldn't fucking be there. So the Romans are the bad guys anyway. But, so you've got all of this going on, but it's just a linear action, blood-drenched movie, which hits all the high notes. Has a great score as well. And I love it to bits. Folks, you might too. So I'm going to leave it there. Anyway, please, in the meantime, and this ever ancient world blood-drenched in-between time, please, keep it Celtic, keep it Celtic. And remember, don't invade north of the border. Always try and stay south of the border. Aye. So, folks, I'm going to see you all. And you do see a midge. One actually bites David Morris in the neck, and he takes it out, and he goes and bursts the bastard, because they are evil. They don't just sting you and put like a little infection in there and drain some blood. They have teeth like that and go and take a fucking chunk out of you. They're evil, and they should be stamped out. Later.